Welcome to OtakuCast. Thanks for joining us today. I am your host, Angel's Calamity. I'm sure you guys know me by now, but if you want to look up my YouTube channel, it's Angel's Calamity, and I have a Facebook and an Instagram. And my co-host
Hi, I'm directionally challenged.
is a lot.
That's all I got for me today. I am directionally challenged. Or you call me
Well,
DC. I don't care. Find me on YouTube. Directionally challenged.
see, he had more. And our special guest, Professor D.a.o.
Yo, Brocephas, I be Professor D.a.o, and welcome to the OtakuCast, where today we will be talking about anime that influence pop culture. Now, I have a YouTube channel, D.a.o Comics, Twitch, Professor D.a.o with underscores, and a Twitter, Professor Teagues, Teegs, and Instagram, also Professor Teagues.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us today. We will get to that topic in a little bit. But first, we're going to go over our Otaku news.
Yes, we
You guys ready?
got
Yeah.
some news today.
Totally not just picked out by
Yes.
DC. Totally not.
I don't
First
think I
news
picked it. I don't think I picked it.
is uh My Hero Academia season 5 is continuing their efforts despite the thing that shall not be named. And the sound
That which
director,
should not be.
Voldemort, uh, the sound director, Misafumi Mima, shared on Twitter a picture of the recording studio that they're taking all precautions to make sure that they are abiding by all the precautions and laws to keep their actors safe.
Yeah, which is
And they're
it's
still
pretty.
working on it. Yeah.
It's pretty cool that they're still pushing forward. They're trying to get it out. They're
They're
trying to
very
keep it
they're
going.
being very serious about the precautions too. So awesome. Awesome. What you got next for us, DC?
In more news, Boom Studios is launching a 6-issue Mega Man comic series. It announced on Tuesday that it is pairing with Wild Brain Ltd. and Dentsu Entertainment USA to launch a 6-issue comic series based on Mega Man Fully Charged, the animated television series based on the Mega Man games.
Yes.
So I really do like Mega Man, and it says here that after Mega Man's father, Dr. Light, is kidnapped, a shocking truth rocks Mega Man's world, as it seems the robot masters now know more about his secret history than he does. But as Dr. Wily's machinations trigger Mega Man's forgotten memories of the brutal human-robot war, our hero is left to question just who he is, and if he can trust anything, or anyone, including the man he calls father.
That's
Uh,
awesome. And Mega Man's
yeah.
like one of those classics. It's always
Oh
been
yeah.
around since 1987. It released its
Oh
first
yeah.
game known as Rockman in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Yes.
in they released Mega Man 11 in 2018, so it's a series is still going on strong.
Oh yeah, actually, my buddy bought me Mega Man 11. I did a whole Let's Play series on it on my channel because I love Mega Man. In Mega Man, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this comic series is gonna go. I'm a little sad that it's only 6 issues, but uh, if you guys like Mega Man, this is just me throwing this out there. There's two bands, the Megas and Proto Men, the Proto Men, who do Mega Man themed covers. So if you guys are fans of Mega Man, check those guys out. It's
That's awesome.
highly suggested.
Speaking of music,
Yes.
DC,
Speaking,
band name
I was gonna say,
Flow. That's
you
some
were
news
saying
about
it.
that. Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of music, the Japanese rock band Flow announced on Friday that they have rescheduled their 2020 North American tour because of that which shall not be named. They've announced some new dates for 2021, starting with the Animazement Anime Convention in Raleigh, North Carolina.
You
Looks like
guys
they're going
can
to
look
be
at
in.
the full schedule on Anime News Network.
Yes, it looks like they're going to be in North Carolina, Georgia, Texas. They're going to Anaheim, San Jose. They're going to Canada, New York, DC, and Mexico.
They're going to
So
DC. They going to your house?
yeah, they're gonna come to my house. They're gonna play. So I mean, if you guys
Excellent.
want, if you guys don't know, Flow has done what?
Countless
Oh my god,
openings.
they have done theme songs for Uruka 7, Uruka 7 AO, Code Geass, The Seven Deadly Sins, Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Da 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 Da, Tales of Zetsuda, The Seven Deadly Sins Revival of the Commandments, Samurai Flamenco, and Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, which I think they're most known for the Naruto openings.
They're not the Naruto openings are always lit. So
Yeah,
well, most of
yeah,
them are.
most of them are pretty good.
And I hate
I
that
like
it has
Flow a lot.
like certain series or parts of Naruto has amazing openings, but the
Code
way sounds
Geass.
stellar. Code Dios.
Code Geass. I'm
Code
calling it what
Geass.
I'm calling it what I call it.
Yonk yonk. The
Yonk
Yonkaning
yonk.
brothers.
Yonk
Okay.
yonk am code.
And our last bit of news for today is the Fairy Tale RPG game is delayed to July 30th. It's due to Voldemort. It's the game's for PS4, Switch, and PC, and it's going to be released.
I didn't even
What?
know that Koei Tecmo was releasing a Fairy Tale game.
Yeah, and they thank the fans for their patience. It's going to be released
The pans
everywhere
for their
by
patience.
the fans for their patience. Words are hard.
I'm just gonna let you know I'm looking it up right now because I want to see what this game is all about.
Okay, and they're working really hard to and putting the final touches on the game, and they're thanking the fans for their patience, and it's an ultimate magical RPG experience. And there's pre-order bonuses and whatnot. So, and I love Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale's a good time. I mean, magic,
alright,
the power
guys.
of friendship, dragons.
Alright, guys. It's got Swimsuit Lucy, so just throwing that out there for everybody. It's got
Swimsuit Lucy is best Lucy.
And Urza. So, and it looks like you get to run around as Natsu. So there's no what better?
Natsu is best is a big idiot, but I love him. All right, so now we're ready to move on. Hey, D.a.o, are you gonna check out the Fairy Tale RPG? Professor, sorry.
Perhaps. I've never really heard of
will.
Fairy Tale, to be honest. But
You should. It's a good show. Yeah.
Really
actually,
good
wait.
one.
Actually, oh, I just realized my brother, when he was into anime years ago, he watched Fairy Tale. It's like isn't it a little bit like Sailor Moon, but kind of not?
Not really.
No, there's no
Okay,
magical.
maybe not then, but
well,
who
I
knows?
guess
Maybe he
Lucy
did.
could be considered a magical girl. I guess.
It says
Okay,
here that
maybe
you
it is
can-
that thing.
It says here, take on formidable foes as dragon slayers, summoners, shapeshifters, enchanters, and other colorful mages. So it looks like you don't just have to play as Natsu; you get to actually play as a bunch of other characters.
And that's super awesome.
Nice. It says here you can upgrade the guild's facilities to increase guild rank, higher rank, more challenging requests, fight and prevail to become the #1 guild in the Kingdom of Pure and beyond. Nice.
The Otaku Empire says, I heard Yojak just started watching Fairy Tale and is watching one episode a day. You're going to be there for a while, sir.
Dude, Yojak, enjoy
anime.
that. Oh, dude, Fistcake! Fistcake says, "Yo, dude, hey, Fistcake!" It's my buddy.
Hi, Fistcake, DC's buddy. All right, so now we're ready to move on to our topic, and our topic is, Professor?
Anime that influenced pop culture.
Yes, and there is a lot of those. Why don't you start us off with one?
Okay, so I wrote down a list. I typed down a list. So we got, of course, Pokemon. There's all kinds of merchandise. You can find it in Hot Topic or Target in the plush or merch section. Kind of anywhere, okay? And you also got... Yeah, you know what? Pokemon is like the majority that's all over stores.
Pokemon
So yeah.
Build-A-Bear. As you can see, this is Build-A-Bear. I
was
mean,
gonna say let's not even forget that. What's that recent Tenmo? Was that recent game that came out? What am I thinking of? It's a Pokemon knockoff game that just came out. It's like multiplayer Pokemon. It's like super popular right now. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Is that Pokemon Go that you're
No, Tenmo. What is that game that just came out that like everybody was all obsessed with? I mean, yeah, Pokemon Go was like one of the biggest.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah, one of the biggest.
People that don't even play Pokemon were out in my.
Temtem. That was it. You guys don't know Temtem.
Still with us, Professor?
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Oh. Okay, because you
got temporary black screen. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right.
Okay, excellent.
We're good.
But,
okay.
You know, like Pokemon Go.
Yeah, see,
was
Jace and Fistcake know about Temtem.
Yeah, I've never heard of.
Yeah, but that's how big Pokemon is. Like, let's not forget we had that massive wave of Pokemon Go people that like, holy crap, the amount of
I actually
people
knew,
that
like,
played it.
I live in a small town, but there were still older couples that were out playing Pokemon Go. They don't even know what Pokemon were, but they enjoyed the concept of the game, and we all got in big groups and just traveled together right when it started, and it was good. And people, I just got called to go do a raid like 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, can't cast, but
Yeah,
it's still, yeah, it's very fun.
I mean, yeah. If
I got one.
I was gonna say, if we're talking like just effect on culture, the absolute insanity that effect that Pokemon has had, like just the amount of people that have played it. Like I have a Pokemon game from every generation except for Sword and Shield because I don't have a Switch.
What is wrong with
So
you? That game is actually really, really
I
good.
don't have a Switch. It's too expensive.
PC, go
I
get
don't
one.
have
I
the
dropped my
money
pen.
for it. You want
Okay,
to buy
fine.
me a Switch? Then okay. I don't
I
have
don't
the money
have
for
money
it.
either.
But yeah, it's absolute insanity.
The
Just
professor looks like he's enjoying a spoonful of peanut butter. Excellent.
Yeah, it's
nothing wrong with that.
my mom made cookie dough.
Ooh,
Ooh,
even
nice.
better. I want some cookie dough. I will
Yeah,
DM you
that's
my
what she
address,
came
and
in
your
for.
mom can send me some cookies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, I got so many. I got so many, and you guys know how I am. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to narrow it down. I
Just
got
yeah,
one, and I went to look through Hollywood inspirations and influences, and I found a lot because, like Pacific Rim, Giltero.
Pacific.
I can never say his name.
Gu-
Giltero del Gil, that guy.
Guillermo del
Thank
Toro.
you. Thank you, Guillermo del Toro. I always
I,
forget how to say his name.
what? Yeah,
And
Guillermo del Toro.
it was heavily inspired. Like a bunch of people said, "Oh, it's this," or "It's Neon Genesis
Neon
Evangelion," or
Genesis.
something.
Yeah.
Guillermo himself, Mr. Del Toro, said, "No, it is all Gundam Wing. It was all inspired by Gundam Wing. He's a big fan of the series, and he straight said it in an interview that the Gundam Wing inspired Pacific Rim, and they turned out to
I
be really popular movies."
I feel like it's not like okay. Gundam Wing is so vastly different from Pacific Rim that I feel more like it's not Gundam Wing, but what was that one? I can't remember that one. Shining
But
Finger, the
he
Shining
was
Finger one. I know what he said, but
But see,
you know what I mean.
he just wanted to, he tried to capture the feeling of an older mecha anime. That's what
Yeah,
he wanted to do. He wanted to capture that feeling. And I think I enjoyed the Pacific Rim movies. They weren't awful. They
I
weren't bad.
I haven't seen the second one. My buddies all said that they kind of focused too heavily on the plot, and I was like, Pacific Rim doesn't need plot. All right, it
I
just
like
needs to
plot.
be
I like plot.
Pacific Rim was perfect the way it was, which
Everybody
was
watches anime for the plot. I mean,
yeah,
come
no,
on.
sure, no.
I'm not paying attention to chat. Sorry, chat. I was talking.
I am. This
Good.
kid said Gundam G, I think, and it was like, the one with Shining Finger. You know, my
I
this tells me to defeat you.
I
In
only
that one.
have seen 2 mecha animes in
Well,
my life,
watch
so
more.
neither of
Mecha,
them were Gundam.
mecha anime is the best,
I well,
hands down.
mm,
But
mm,
we'll see. The thing is that
mm.
leading into what you talked about, which is Guillermo del Toro being inspired by Gundam Wing, is the effect that Gundam has had on Japan. Like it sort of has had an effect in America, where you kind of have like the American version is Mech Warriors. You know, we've got mechs as well, but that was sort of brought about by the Japanese sort of mech trend. And
Mhm.
in Japan, you have places where you can go see giant Gundam that are just sitting there as these 50-foot tall statues. And
Mhm.
there's all sorts of mech anime, and there's all sorts of like I have all of these figurines, the Gundam figurines you can build. You know, there's a whole culture of customizing these Gundam figurines. There's a whole culture of um, building like all of these Gundams and mechs, and the effect it's had in creating an interesting effect. Like we had what was it, like a couple years ago, America versus Japan mech battle, where they
Hmm.
literally had the American mech versus the Japanese mech, and
Hmm.
like you can go on to Amazon Japan right now, and for $1 million, yes, Amazon
Is that
Japan,
all?
$1 million, you can buy a mech.
Is that all though? Like,
Yes, yeah, I know, but think about that. We're that's like that's absolute insanity that we've come like this obsession with mecha and mechs.
it
It's
started out as a cartoon. Yeah.
yeah, it just
Well,
started out as a
it's an
cartoon, and
anime, but like
yeah,
colored pictures on moving
but
paper.
now
I
we
mean,
have
you know what I mean?
but we're moving like societally, we're moving towards making mechs a reality. That's
Which
so
is
cool.
it
I
is
mean,
pretty awesome. Have you played the game Titanfall? I mean, come on.
I haven't, but I really enjoyed watching the plays I've seen of it because I love mechs.
I played
And
Titanfall 2. It was free on PS Plus for 1 month,
mecha
and I
is
just
happening in the future. Dude, mecha is happening now.
except I
Mecha
hope
is
they don't beat up the poor mechanized suits like they do those poor little robots. I mean, I know they're
oh
robots and they're just testing them, but I don't like to see them beat them up.
oh man, that actually speaking of that, like let's not even forget Osimo, kind of inspired by the robots of anime and stuff like that, built by Honda. I had the luxury and the pleasure.
Give me the sauce. What is that?
Osimo? It's a small autonomous robot built by Honda. It was like
Oh,
one of the first robots that could like move and dance. In Japan, they have like a bunch of them that do this flower dance and the fan dance and stuff. I actually had the pleasure in 7th grade to go see Osimo in live. Like my whole
oh,
class
that's
went on a trip
awesome.
to go see it, and that it was inspired by anime and mechs and stuff, and they're building these robots, like Persicons and things like that. Which Persicons, again, I'm talking too much because this is like my field where
No,
I
it's
know.
okay. You're passionate about it, and that's what
Yeah,
matters. You're
yeah,
keeping me entertained at least.
yeah. So like Persicons are being more pushed in Japan. They've got these automated Persicons that act as um dang it, they act as like secretaries and ticket takers and stuff in airports and things like that. So if we're talking effect on society, anime's effect on society, Japan is the
What we're
place.
talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Japan is the place that is pushing everything forward, following like a lot of what anime technology. We're talking humanoid robots that are very popular in Japanese animes. You know, um, and we're talking like Gundams that are being pushed, and we're talking like all this cool technology that we're moving forward toward. And I'm really stoked for it because that is like that's an effect on culture. The inspiration coming from animes, from seeing humanoid robots, from seeing giant 50 robots, to people being like, we want to build that. Like tablets were from some Star Trek. We got tablets thanks to Star Trek. They had the first tablets and stuff like that. So another pop effect, Ghost in the Shell and Akira effect on Western movies.
I actually was
Yes,
going to talk about those. Like The Matrix was heavily inspired by Ghost in the Shell, and something I wrote down was a Chronicle, the
yeah,
movie Chronicle. That was
yeah,
pretty much era. That was, I mean, it had much differences, but of course, but teenagers that get psychic powers. I mean,
yeah. Akira is the number one movie if we're talking effect on Western culture.
I would argue,
So many.
I would argue about the number one anime for effects on culture, though.
Yeah,
I'd
I
argue
would
that.
say it's I would say for that Akira is just because of how many
I'm gonna fight you.
movies.
I'll fight
Well,
you.
it's
Dragon Ball
purely
Z.
yes.
Dragon
No, I
Ball
understand that.
Z.
I understand that. It's just I'm talking from a pure like Western movie standpoint, not culture in general, just movies. Because
Um, okay, I'll give you that because Akira, for its gritty visual style and its very dark storyline, it did inspire like I watched that movie only in the last few years, and I went,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, what is this?" You know, and I'll give you for movies, yeah. What do you think about Professor? What are you thinking?
Yeah, hit us
Alright,
with some more. I've been
so
talking for too long.
yeah, okay, so a couple years ago, when Japan was going all mech crazy, alright, we have our own pet like robot dogs now, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and a while ago, um, I don't know if this was fake, but I saw some kind of like ad of some sort where it was like an elderly man, all right, and he's standing up with like this kind of like skeleton thing on his legs, like a is to help him stand, and it's like a robotic device,
Oh,
um,
like a mechanized brace.
like an yeah, like a brace, but
Okay,
like the exosuits from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
got you. And yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of advancements in that sort of way too, because like robotics in general is advancing through leaps and bounds. And honestly, we can only advance as far as our imaginations take us and our scientists and all that kind of stuff. And then
Hmm.
this anime pushes the boundaries on so many things and things that we never thought we'd see or be able to do, but things are actually coming around to some things like that. Like for example, you said the mechanized braces.
Hmm.
That's the robotic and I actually have seen one for people's spines. They're very expensive right now, and they're still working on them,
Yes.
but they have, like, pneumatic pumps in them and stuff like that that help people who could never walk again stand and walk again on their own. Like I'm forgetting that like an exoskeleton kinda thing, but it's just,
Yes.
like, framework, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
is that what you were getting at, Professor?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, that's
It's
what I thought.
the roboticness helps strengthen the legs or the spine or the arm if it's like
Mhm.
crippled or aged away in that
It
kind of way.
helps with physical therapies. Yes.
Yeah.
And that
It's
that
so
technology is still
awesome.
very new, and honestly, I don't
Oh
have
yeah.
enough research on it to be able to discuss it properly, but it's very interesting. Robotics has a bright future.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just stay away
And
from AI.
I will talk about Dragon Ball a little bit more in a minute, but I did want to bring up anybody this little movie called The Lion King?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was inspired by
Now,
Kimba the White Lion.
Disney lawyers vehemently say otherwise.
Oh
They
yeah.
say it was
But
only inspired by Hamlet, by William
yeah.
Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Yeah. But I mean,
Come on.
when you look at the White Lion anime,
Kimba the
when
White Lion was a
yeah.
1960s anime about a young lion cub and his trials and tribulations to become the king.
Yeah.
And
And
there was
so
movies and there was
have you
animes
have you seen the video that literally like it shows like 14 or
side by
15
side.
shot for shot side by side
Yep.
almost perfect copy of the animation where it's like
Wow.
come on Disney.
But Disney's lawyers say that they had no idea that that existed. I'm just it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
very convenient how similar. I love The Lion King. It's one of my
Actually
favorite movies of all the
Mm.
time. But
that's
but
that's
yeah,
that's that's something important to talk about though, the Disney anime thing, because the irony of that little thing there is that anime was initially inspired by old school Disney cartoons. We're talking,
Betty Boop and
Betty
yes, I
Boop,
did actually do my research
And the
on
Mickey
that.
Mouse
Yes,
yeah,
shorts.
the Mickey Mouse shorts, and that's where you got things
exactly.
like the really old school ones like Astro Boy, and
Bambi with the
those,
big
yeah,
eyes helped the characters emote better, and they
yeah.
actually kind of inspired by our style to start
So
there.
it's really cool though to see how art has inspired art has inspired art has inspired art in that
Mm-hmm.
the cartoons inspired the Eastern cartoons, which have then inspired the Western cartoons, which have inspired more of the Eastern cartoons, and we have this like back and forth trade of style and things like that.
Hmm.
Our styles are constantly evolving and feeding off of each other, which I know it's very vaguely connected to this whole how anime has affected popular culture, but any cartoon you watch now has in some way been molded and affected by our shared anime and cartoons past. You know, we've got the big eyes come in from our old school, and we kind of moved away from that, and we're still kind of like we're moving back into it a little. We're getting a lot more anime inspired cartoons. You know, we had Avatar, of course, that's the most popular, but there have been a few others. If you guys remember, Totally Spies, um, Martin
Wait.
Mystery,
I have had a list somewhere. There's
those are
just a whole bunch, like Kids Next Door, Codename Kids Next Door, The Grim
well,
Adventures. Well, no, these ones have they all have been referenced to anime inspirations by their creators.
yeah,
So and things like well, obviously Robot Chicken, but we're not going to talk about
yeah,
the
Robot
Robot
Chicken,
Chicken.
but
Teen Titans and any of
oh,
the like the
heavily, yeah,
superhero, any of the like the old Teen Titans. I'm not talking about the crap they had. The Teen Titans Go. We don't discuss
no,
that.
No one speaks.
no one
We don't
talks about.
discuss that. No. And
Like,
there's so
according to
many.
Teen Titans Go now we're all poopy.
Yeah. And just countless Western cartoons have been inspired by anime, and then then those cartoons like eventually turn into movies, and then it rolls downhill. Everything is
Yeah,
eventually inspired by
and
everything
it's
else.
like Dragon Ball Z. I think though was the gateway to a lot of anime for a lot of people. You know, Dragon Ball Z. Well, for at least for the guys out there, I know a lot of guys in my school when I was a kid were really into Dragon Ball Z. I know a lot of the girls were Sailor Moon, and that sort of brought about like the nerd age for my generation, my bracket was like how many people were going out and buying the Dragon Ball Z figures, and like how many people were wearing like Dragon Ball Z shirts, and that kind of got people into Toonami, and Toonami kind of got the ball rolling on other animes, and like you know, we haven't
Yeah,
seen we haven't
I will
seen
agree
the
with
big
you, Otaku
push.
Empire. I will agree with you. Avatar is the best one, and it's amazing. It really is. Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra. But yeah, no, about Dragon Ball. Since now we're on the topic, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. Dragon Ball. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
Mhm.
I just heard it just
that's
echoed
fine.
for a minute. Dragon Ball is like if you present an anime to somebody who has no idea what anime is, most of the time they'll go, "What is that? Dragon Ball?"
Yeah, exactly.
They'll go, "What is that? Dragon Ball Z? What's going on with
Yeah,
that?" And most of the time
Like,
they'll go, "What is that? Dragon Ball?" There is
yeah,
movies and just Hollywood movies that try to spoof it, and then there's so many like fight scenes and stuff in movies that they can go back and reference because Dragon Ball, for all of its ridiculous, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z has amazing fight scenes. They
yeah.
always have over the top, explosive. I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna
Um,
get stronger again.
the final Matrix movie, you know,
Revelation.
Neo versus Agent Smith.
Mhm.
That's a heavily like you really see a lot of the Dragon Ball influence.
Yeah. And like and then there's tropes in Dragon Ball, like as I said, the fights, but then there's also like everyone calls it Narutoing the enemies, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Vegeta did that well before he was villain and then they turned him friend. Well
Well,
before any of that.
see the thing about that one is to get a little bit off topic and just kind of go quickly with it. That wasn't talk no jutsu. That was just they kind of beat it
Yeah,
into him.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, that was I will beat you until you submit kind
It
of thing.
happened with
Yeah.
Piccolo. Yeah, it happened with Piccolo. It happened with
Like
Tien.
but still like
It happened with
turning those
Yamcha.
enemies into
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. Turning enemies into friends was a big trope for Dragon Ball Z, but it felt more natural in Dragon Ball Z, I think.
And but
And
no, but look at how many like Dragon Ball started in the 80s back with the original Dragon Ball, when
yeah,
Goku was little and you saw his pee in an anime like dead ass. If none of you don't remember that, the original Dragon
no, I
Ball,
remember
he
that.
did a full frontal nude of young Goku and it was okay. It's cool.
That's well, no, that happens a lot.
is it censored nowadays?
Probably
I don't know. I
not in
have the
Japan.
original somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and Dragon Ball just as in like
Taco Empire. Chills has to bring up Goku.
I said I was gonna talk about peepees. Okay, I did.
Look,
Pee-pee.
if you guys haven't seen Beelzebub,
Baby Goku's peepee, have to watch.
the baby Beelz in Beelzebub is naked throughout 99% of that anime. So
Never seen it. Writing it
d-
down. Not that I'd want to see the peepee or anything like
he's a
that.
little baby. It's
Pee-pee.
actually a really good anime. I like it.
Spell that?
If you like Beelzebub, I'll send it to you later. If you like delinquent animes, it's really good. Which actually, a lot of those delinquent animes were inspired by Akira, which Akira was inspired by a lot of Western style, like outlaw bad
Western
guy.
culture is more violent, at least classically
Yeah.
more violent than Japanese, and Japanese is more sexualized. Normally,
Yeah.
there are exceptions to every rule, but and then another thing that really interested me was during my searching for this, I found that a lot of rappers are referencing animes in their songs and their lyrics.
Yeah,
It's starting to
Like
I've seen a lot of those.
yeah.
exactly. I spent a good hour listening, and I'm not really somebody that listens to rap, but I'm just like, and I spent like one of the songs, "Can't Blame Me" by Nines. He used all kinds of metaphors about Dragon Ball Z, and even referenced Android 18 directly in his song.
Nice.
I thought it was
Well,
neat. Yeah, and then
yeah, there's
another one, which I'm not sure how they got away with it, but it's called Full Metal by Currency, and they literally use the dub clip from the Full Metal Alchemist anime in that song. Look it up; it's actually pretty good.
fair use. You can get away with
Yeah,
a little bit of it as long as you're being transformative. That's how you can get away with it. It's very interesting. But
yeah. It just look it up. Once again, it's currency and it's dollar sign
yeah,
instead of a C. Why? It's dollar sign instead of
that's
CY.
well, sort of like
It's,
Kesha.
unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, sort of like Kesha. Everybody wants to be like Prince when he became the symbol. Um,
yeah,
but
and
that's speaking of
it's pretty
music.
awesome.
Speaking of music, that's another thing. Like Mega Man was heavily inspired by Japanese anime. That's kind of where you get the idea because Mega Man did become an anime. And like I said, there's a band called the Proto Men, who are named after Proto Man, and then there's the Megas, which obviously are named after Mega Man. And again, they do Mega Man themed music about Mega Man style stuff. Like the Proto Men have an entire album, 2 albums. That the first one is all about Mega Man's rise to becoming Mega Man and fighting and realizing humanity is sort of letting him be this sacrifice. And the second one is like Dr. Light's fall and how he ended up being outcasted and things like that. So there's these stories that are being written, songs that are being written that are being inspired by video games and anime, and it's really cool to see where we're going with that. The
Well, we
effects
can also
actually having.
touch on the fact, like we already talked about Pokemon a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
another one of those that started out like a video game. It
Mm-hmm.
started as a video game before
Then it
anything else. Then it was
then,
a manga, and then
then it
it
was an
was
anime.
a anime. And now Pokemon is unique though because it's still so wildly popular. I can
Yeah.
show this to any age child, and they
And
will
they
instantly
yeah.
know what it is. That's an Eevee. It's from Pokemon. And
And
it's because
spawned a
it's
card
because
game that has not died.
yeah, the card game is still alive and well.
I still
Like
play it.
as the professor did say earlier, Pokemon is everywhere. And
Yeah.
and another one that was started as just a cutesy thing is Hello Kitty.
Yeah, Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty
Sanyo's
is
Hello Kitty is everywhere. Everyone knows what Hello Kitty is. But
you also got to think like Doraemon in Japan. Again, there's snacks. If you go to Japan, you can buy a snack with Doraemon on it, and
yeah,
you can buy snacks with Hello Kitty on it, or the Hello Kitty characters on it. If you go, like the recent controversy in Japan, the blood drive, they had an anime nurse lady doing the whole blood drive thing. We're getting more and more animes coming into ads, into packaging where you can get a bunch of snacks that have anime characters on them. Again, typically in Japan, it's a little bit slower in America. We're more focused on sports right now, I think, because I see a lot more football players things like that that are on.
That generation is
Snack
slowly
things.
dying out, though.
Yeah, we're getting more into the anime. We're getting more into the anime in America. That I think that's it's really cool to see this like trend right now of how it's starting to come into our culture little by little. You know, like you said with the rappers, we're getting animes coming into
See,
rap.
it's very interesting because we're similar ages, and if
Yeah.
you did not like anime, everyone who did was a nerd.
Oh
Everyone
yeah.
who did was weird. Everyone who did freak, weirdo, nerd, you like
Oh
them
yeah.
dumb cartoons, you know? And then now it's becoming so normalized that if you go, hey, I like anime, people are like, hey, cool, I've seen anime. Seems pretty cool. Or,
Yeah.
everybody knows what it is now. And it's more normalized the fact that we can, just like the video games thing. Back in the 80s
Mhm.
and 90s, if you played video games, you were a nerd. You
Nerd.
nerd.
Yeah.
And video game and anime culture is closely entwined though, because normally
Mhm.
you don't have one without the other.
Yeah, well,
So
because again, anime is like so many video games inspired by anime. We just talked about the Fairy Tale RPG coming out, which I have put on my Steam wishlist already, because I love Fairy Tale, I love video games, I love RPGs. Um, but what I wanted to say was, speaking about what you said when you were a kid, in anime was for nerds. When I was in 7th grade or 6th grade, there was one girl, I can't remember her name right now. I'm really sorry. Who was kind of an outcast in school. She would often be on the benches at lunch or during recess reading manga. And that's sort of what got me into knowing about manga. Because I knew about anime from Toonami.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I really like this stuff. And then I found out manga exists. And I was like, oh, this stuff is really cool. But it wasn't the norm. You know, wasn't I was the only one that really talked to her about it.
Who wants to read a weird black and white comic book that you have to read backwards? What's wrong with you
Yeah,
weirdos?
but I was into
mean-
comics, so being into comics and seeing manga, I was like, this is awesome. This is like the anime stuff I watch.
The Otaku Empire says Hello Kitty is the second highest grossing intellectual property in the world, with Pokemon Juggernaut in first place.
Yeah,
which
of course.
is crazy. They were just a bunch of guys that wanted to make a game. They had minimal money, and they're like, hey, what if we made a game about a bunch of monsters? You fight
Hey,
monsters.
effing boss, I will teach you how to play Pokemon.
I haven't played in a long time. It's a fun game.
It's really fun. I got my ass kicked on every single tournament I went to.
And hi, Bob Greer.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of overpowered the professor. Do you have anything to add to our nonstop? Please interrupt us if you have something to say. Just
Okay.
Professor was just entertained by us yelling at each other.
So my oldest brother, when Pokemon was first getting popular in the late 90s and the early 2000s, my brother started collecting the Pokemon cards. And so when he was moving out when I was 6, I was looking through a box and it had a bunch of elemental Pokemon cards and a bunch of other like more characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I pulled out a bunch of the elementals and I kept them. And so sometimes I would look at them, and my mom told me that he got them in the 90s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still
1998.
here. They're up here somewhere. I don't exactly know where. And so sometimes I just remember the cards, and I just think it's cool. I have these rare cards from
the
and so
90s.
sometimes I just remember the cards, and before me. I just think it's cool. All of my friends were born and stuff.
Dude,
and I never
that
fetched
hurts
them.
my soul
never
when you
bring
say
it up.
that. That hurts my soul when you say that, because
Yeah.
I have the first set release of Pokemon cards in storage. I'm talking
I had
the
all of them
first
special
run
edition.
of Pokemon cards.
I had a special edition shiny holographic Charizard. That was one everybody wanted, and my sister stole
I
it.
hate you, because those sold for. I remember going to a card shop. Trying to get a Charizard. $100. Not shiny, not foil. $100. I spent so much money trying to get a damn Charizard. I ended up with like 3 shiny Blastoises and a whole bunch of Venusaurs. I never ever got a Charizard, but now sitting on my shelf, I have the best Pokemon ever. I've got holographic Mewtwo. So
Yes, Jace. We already established that I'm the oldest. Thanks for reminding me.
Otaku Empire, Pokemon influence on pop culture is the topic chat. It's
I talked
really
about Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
it's
come
really
on.
true though. Like we're talking about the base influence of anime on culture, but Pokemon has had so
It's a
much of an
titan.
influence.
It's
It
it's a
is a
colossus.
mythical titan that just destroys everything else. Like we can talk about Bleach's effect in Japan. Like most things we talk about, we have a large effect in Japanese culture and Japanese pop culture. Like One Piece has had so many live shows. There's a Thousand Sunny and a Going Merry replica ship you can go see. And again, if you're not a One Piece fan, you don't know what I'm talking about. But that is awesome. There has been so many live shows for One Piece. There's been so many plays. Bleach has had rock operas. Like you could
For
literally
instance,
go.
mentioning One Piece, Zero. Okay, sorry, continue.
Look, there's. I'm gonna mention it because One Piece is my favorite anime. Again, it's where I get my name. But
Well, you know what? Full Metal Alchemist. There. Oh wait, we did. I already mentioned it because of one song.
yes,
Okay, sorry.
but think
Continue.
about
Carry
that.
on.
Like think about it like this: is that you go to Japan and anime is prevalent. It is everywhere. It is the culture. Like
It's ingrained.
it is ingrained.
It's just as much part of culture as kawaii is.
Oh yeah,
And
like Otaku Empire is talking about.
oh,
We're getting so many more live action anime movies, and a lot of them are produced by
see,
Warner Brothers.
Dragon Ball
No,
Evolution, which
no,
apparently we don't
no,
talk about.
no,
I
no.
don't.
That movie doesn't exist.
I
That
haven't
movie
seen
does
it.
not
I was not
exist.
brave enough to watch
That
that
movie
movie.
does not exist.
Uh,
Do not.
Death Note on Netflix.
That
I did not
show
watch
does not
that.
exist.
See, I do eventually want to
Does not
watch that
exist.
just because I want to see
I
Ryuk. His
refuse.
animation looked beautiful.
I refuse.
And
Otaku
then
Empire,
what's the
those do
and
not exist. We do not talk about them. They are non-existent.
wait, now hold on. What are those worse than the Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
Are they though?
Yes. At least Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie, the live action movie had characters and followed the plot of the series. The Dragon Ball Evolution didn't even follow the plot.
I have
didn't
not
even follow
seen
the
Dragon
plot. The
Ball.
characters didn't even look the same. Avatar tried. Avatar tried.
Yes, I think I'll take this opportunity to interrupt and go back to Pokemon for a second. So
Thank you.
yesterday I watched a video by Frankly Gaming, a smaller YouTuber that I watch slash streamer. And he was going over the top 10 most like engrossing video game franchises in history and world, right? And Pokemon was number one with $14 billion total.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I like that. I
Nice
like that
effect.
effect.
Nice effect. That was nice. Yeah, and
Mm.
to I'm trying to keep an eye on chat here. Yes, and yes, Ghost in the Shell did influence. I mean, we already talked about how it influenced the Matrix,
Matrix.
and like,
The
and then another one that I'm going to touch on briefly is the Princess Mononoke. That inspired many movies as well, like the Blue Alien Avatar, not Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I actually like the Blue Alien Avatar movie. Most people didn't.
dude, really?
And
Avatar was like massive. Are
I
you kidding me? James Cameron's Avatar is huge.
most of the people I know don't like it, and I'm like, it's
Really?
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty epic.
and then what was
Hey,
the other?
thanks,
Snow
Bob.
White and the Huntsman. Snow White and the Huntsman was another
Is this-
movie, and that one didn't get a lot of acclaim, but it was still a good movie.
Bob says this is an awesome stream. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. You'll have to come back and see
Yeah.
us every week.
We're here. But
Yes,
yeah,
we are.
Yeah, every Sunday at 5:30 for us. But no. I know
PST
Bob.
is us.
He lives in the UK. So it's like the middle of the night for him.
Oh,
He
Oh,
just so happens to
oh,
wake.
thanks for
thanks
being
for
here, Bob.
joining us. I'll drink to that. It's vanilla Coke. Don't get excited, but it is in a skull cup.
But I yeah, like a lot of Western movies getting more and more anime inspiration.
And there's been like, oh, the One Punch. I completely forgot. They're still
One
working on the One Punch. They're working on the One Punch live action, and I actually have hopes for that one.
I don't know
Like,
if
you
I don't know if
can't
it'll
do a
work live
lot to
action.
mess. You can't do a lot to mess One Punch Man up. He's a
I just-
dude, punches things, and they die.
I don't know if it's gonna work as a live action. You know.
I think it will. Let me know below, guys. Do you guys think the One Punch one? Do you think they can make it work if they do what they're gonna do?
Maybe.
Maybe that's. But yeah, so I think we're beating this one half to death. But there are so many like movies and everything. Everything's influenced by anime, and everything influences everything else. You know, it's a good time. It's a good time. Making sure I talked about everything I want to talk about in my notes because I'm like Dory and I forget everything. But I think it's time that we move on. Unless you guys have any final thoughts on anime's influence on not just popular culture, but the rest of the world at this
Well,
point, what we've degraded to.
A quick thing about like anime inspired songs and music. Daft Punk had an entire whole.
I cannot believe
like,
I did not
movie.
mention it. The whole first CD they made was
Interstellar 999.
Was it 999 or 555?
Interstellar 5555.
Colette, are you in chat? It's 555, isn't it? She's
55,
I
55.
think she's in there. Okay. But yeah, no, and that was like my whole pre-teen to teenager years with Daft Punk and the videos with those. I mean, Professor, that might be a little bit older for you, but look it up. Go to YouTube and just look it up. And their like original stuff was so good, and they had like this whole animated movie that went with it. It was really good.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yep.
I was just gonna to finish it up though. I'm gonna name off like a couple of anime-inspired music videos. I just found Billie Eilish. You should see me in a crown. Is
Billie who?
Billie Eilish. Eilish.
That's
whatever.
how Belgian people say it. There's some
Billie
Belgian people
Eilish.
that pronounce it Billie Eilish, and they were getting death threats for it. And since then, I just call her Billie Eilish to just
it annoys
with
people.
people.
It's fun.
But yeah, it's
All
pronounced
right,
Eilish.
make your mentions.
Cardi B, I like it. Tyga, Boss Up. Britney Spears, Break the Ice. Lindsay Sterling, We Are Giants. Pharrell Williams, It Girl. Tattoo, Gomenasai. So those are just like a few quick ones. Linkin Park, Breaking the Habit.
You're not wrong there. Yeah. But and then Chase Griffin Smith says One Punch Man has problems since it can't go very far. That's why they made Mob Psycho 100. I don't know.
Yeah,
Haven't seen that. But now we're on to DC. What are we on to?
Is it Anime Club time?
Anime Club time.
No. Start with another. Bring it on in.
Well, Anime Club. I was expecting him to plug it like he normally does.
Do you want me to plug Anime Club right now? I'll plug Anime Club right now.
Boisterous motivations, but you know, I mean, I guess I could do it. I mean,
you sure? Because you can tune in Anime Club Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time by joining the Anime Club voice channel on the server hosted by Yojak.
Yay, our king. And our server for season 0 is still only Empire and Patreons only. Sorry.
You gotta join our Patreon.
$1 a month, guys. $1 a month.
Don't worry. I will talk more about Anime Club.
Yes.
Anime Club. Look at our cool new Anime Club.
Season 1, which will be the Discord will be open for everybody, goes live July 10th. So keep an eye out for that if you guys don't want to give us $1 every month because we're awesome.
You should give it
$1.
So let's talk. If you've seen the podcast, we like to do alphabetical order on our anime.
DC likes to do alphabetical order. I thrive in chaos.
I like the alphabetical order. But another was the.
I have my banana scented notebook and my notes.
Jeez. So if you guys don't know, for Anime Club, each week we watch one episode of 2 different anime. Again, Anime Club. We are Fridays, Eastern, 4 p.m. Standard Time. You can join us by joining the Anime Club voice channel at the server.
For those in different countries, you might have to Google time zones.
Yeah, we're sorry. Sorry
Give
about
it a
that.
Google.
I don't.
Hit one of us up. We can even tell you when it's starting. Private message you. Be like,
we will
right now.
But we also do movies every week. Upcoming Friday, we're doing Big Fish and Begonia. Its expected starting time is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Standard Time. Everyone is to join. It is hosted by Yojak. See you there.
Definitely.
This week, we saw another episode 8.
And Baccano episode 8.
Yep, but we're starting with another hair strand.
I watched Princess, so
I don't understand. I don't know why I'm quiet. Sorry. I don't understand why it was called Hair Strand.
yeah, the episode. I'm not sure, but do we know why any of the episodes in both of these series? Well,
Yes, we
Baccano's a
know
little
why.
bit more
Baccano's very accurate with its titles.
It's very it wears its titles on its sleeves. Baccano does, but Hair Stand started and it did a little bait and switch.
Yeah,
because you saw like red fluid like splatter the sky, and you're like, oh my gosh! But then after the opening, you find out it was a watermelon.
There was.
It was a watermelon.
Yeah.
Somebody slapped a watermelon. We had to have our beach episode, and that's what this kind of was. But there was more to it than that, because well, we already know our characters are looking for Mr. What is his name?
I can't say it. I can't.
Mr. Dude Man that was supposedly involved in stopping the phenomenon 15 years ago, was it, DC?
Yeah, yes, 15 years ago he stopped the phenomenon. He was in the same class as his aunt. He was talking to his aunt about him, but she couldn't remember anything.
I see we have new viewers. So Another is a horror anime, and pretty much this whole class 3, is cursed that they're dying. The kids are dying, and their kids and their family members and all this kind of stuff. And the ones that are survived are trying
Angel,
to.
Angel, let me give a quick recap of Another. Another is an anime about a cursed classroom where people die because of a curse. There's a extra student in there, and that causes.
Was it a school shooter?
No, it was a student who died, and then they pretended that they were alive, and that welcomed death into the classroom and brought the curse upon us. Which, this episode, they're trying to figure out how to stop it. Kind of. Because they're going to go talk to the guy who managed to stop it.
I'm sorry, there was just horrible demon sounds outside of my bed, the recording room door.
That's just your kids, don't worry about it.
It probably is, but I would rather it be just about anything else. Okay, moving on. Sorry, am I still echoing? I don't know how to fix that.
I don't think so, I think you're fine.
Am I? Okay, good. Sorry, you guys don't even want to hear me once, let alone twice. But so Koichi and his aunt are talking about the calamity that stopped 15 years ago, and Mr. Matsunaga, that's his name, because he was a classmate. They had his class trip to the shrine, and then 2 people died. No one remembers exactly what happened because part of this calamity is that their memories get changed.
Yeah. So they're going to go and talk to him, which What?
I am not the extra student. I'm alive. If I wasn't alive, then those demons out there outside my door are not alive either.
I'm lost now.
The chat said I was the extra student.
Wait, is it a family of dead people over there?
Probably.
Don't tell my secret.
So we've gotten basically everyone shows up at. It looks like everybody shows up at Koichi's house to get into cars to go to a beach resort, and we have a little moment there where Akazawa clearly still into the main character here because she wants to get him into her car.
Yeah, but and he's just like, no.
No, I'm going to my aunt. She ends up in that car.
And she straight up jumps in the other car.
Yeah, straight up. She's just like, all right.
Yeah. So and then
here's where I have a couple questions as they're driving off. Right.
That tension.
Well, yeah, we get a big 3D model truck that kind of seems like a red herring to be, because it looks like they're gonna crash or something's gonna happen there, and it's kind of like running them off the road. But Reiko's personality, the aunt's personality, does a complete 180. You notice that?
Oh well, she seems to like relax once they were out of the limits of Yoniyama.
No.
All of them did as soon as they got out of the town.
What are you talking about? I'm talking
about the drive and the tension.
No. Here's what I'm talking about. Reiko is the very reserved, very kind of calm person, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Why are you driving so slow? Get out! You should be in the other lane. You're gonna drive slow." And like her personality switches.
Because they were so scared of getting in an accident, because the curse will not follow them out of the town.
So we think, but there's the question:
What?
is here's the thing.
Somebody
It's
ring the
fine.
bell of shame. Ring the
We
bell of
don't need
shame
to.
for Disney trying to spoil things
I
too
didn't
early.
spoil anything. I said so we think. But here's the thing: can the extra person leave town? With all of them leaving, and then the possibility of people being
This is still
certain
not
people
the
being
spoil
the
trip.
extra.
They just went out to this resort to go look for Mr.
But they leave Yomiyama, and
They do leave.
that's why my question is: can the extra person leave Yomiyama?
I don't know. But what I was talking about is that they like really built up the tension as they were leaving Yomiyama, and like everyone seemed to be holding their breath, and I just thought it was almost a little overdone. Like, but then they all relaxed because then they thought they were
was only
safe.
like 5 seconds. It was like 5 seconds.
It felt a lot longer to me. It felt so much longer.
It was over real quick to me. But
no, it felt so long to me.
That's where I have questions. Like,
and then Reiko she flipped a switch and relaxed and became her normal aggressive self. Now that she doesn't have to worry about dying because the curse. I really think that's why.
I don't know. There's something weird going on.
I really think that's why. What do you guys think? Let us know.
There's something weird going on there. Like, my other question is, do they still have, like, do people still get their memories altered when they're outside of town? What is the curse's, like, what is the limit on this curse? How far does this curse go? Like, I have questions.
Just go for the ride, DC. Just go for the ride.
But yeah,
the Otaku Empire says the curse is bipolar. It sounds like it.
It really, the problem I'm having with this curse is, like, we had defined limits. And I'm questioning what they're, like, I hate that. I hate it. Give me a defined limit so I understand. But all I have is Akazawa wants the main character, man.
Oh,
she wants him
she's totally in him. They had like this little chat in the backseat, and she's totally into him. But you also find out why
each other.
Yeah, you also find out why she volunteered as a head of countermeasures.
Yeah, she was the only one. She wants to stop the curse.
Yeah,
like, she wants to end it.
She thought no one took it seriously.
Yeah,
but she did. So that's why she wants it, and she wants to stop it forever. And I gotta say, that's a good goal. Like, she wants to save the future Class 3, or maybe the school could just get rid of this whole class.
Yeah, you would think.
I mean, just saying. So they finally get there.
Feel free to jump in. Give us your thoughts.
The poor car sick kid, though.
Prof, you hear me? Professor?
Yeah, I don't know.
You there?
Oh, freak. Okay, what?
Yeah, he's just... I was saying, feel free to jump in. Give us your thoughts on it.
Please.
You got the...
I don't think he was tracking what we were saying. Okay, so they get to the resort.
Yeah, they get to the resort.
Get to the resort, and the poor car sick kid and Mr.
He's busy.
Matsunaga was not there. He got called to go do a thing, and he'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
So, and then they kind of have, and then they're all on the beach, and they have their fun beach day.
Yeah, let's not focus on this too much for a while, because it's basically main character sees Mei there, which typical trope. She's gonna be there. Then and then
like her vacation home that she was at is close by. You find that out.
Yeah, main character clearly has a thing for her. We find out her family life is more terrible than we thought it was.
Yeah, that her dad is just worse than her mom.
Well, not really. I mean, he's typical anime dad. He's working all the time. He comes home. He's all about the family, and mom and daughter are not really into each other, man.
Yeah, that's actually a thing in Japanese culture, but that's something we can talk about another time.
But we get the basic. We get the beach episode. They have a fishing contest. Like, it's cliche after cliche.
It was adorable, though. It was adorable.
Yeah, it's a heavy cliche episode.
Like, they hit these little light spots, and then they'll season some random curse and dead kid talking
Yeah.
interspersed throughout it.
Sort of like after they do the fishing contest and both teams, tie. The guy that they went to see, he
Yes.
talks about seeing Reiko recently. Like he's like, haven't I seen you recently? She's like, oh well, what about at the funerals? He's like, I didn't go to those. I only went to the wakes. And he's like, or only the funeral. And
Yeah.
he's talking about having seen her really recently, but he's like having trouble remembering. And then that's
And then she well, this is before the kids get a hold of him because they start grilling for questions too. But she also
Yeah.
asked him if he remembered how he stopped it because he does think he stopped it, but he doesn't. He forgot.
He
And,
forgot how he did it. Yeah, and he's having memory problems. He's forgetting how he stopped it or what happened. They're both kind of having trouble remembering. They know they went to the temple. The temple was run down.
The only thing he remembered is they went to the rundown temple and someone died on the mountain. Like Koichi's like, is it a plane? And they're like, we don't know. But the aunt does say something interesting. She says we all held hands and
something. Plot
But
block, memory problem.
Koichi interrupted her.
Yeah.
She was like all up in her head and trying to remember stuff, and Koichi, and I just wanted to strangle that dumb, beautiful boy.
And so we get like they're kind of playing again.
Their balls
gets lost into the water. Dude goes after it.
Car sick guy
goes under the water. They're like, oh god, and then he comes out of the water, and then he goes under the water again. They're like, oh god, and then he ends up blacked out somehow.
Yeah, he was fine, and then he was floating face down in the water.
And a boat comes by. He's affected by the curse. So here's where my question comes in again. It's related to my first question. Can the cursed person leave? And if so, is the curse part of the town, or does the curse follow the dead one?
Well, if it doesn't follow the dead one, then none of the kids that went on that trip are dead ones. I mean, if all of those are actual real living children.
Well, if it follows the dead one, no.
Exactly. Then, I mean, most likely it's going to be a character we know. It's not just going to be some background dude like, hey, look, it's Dave. It's Dave? Oh, that one dude we saw in 2 shots of the whole show. No, it's going to be a character we know.
It's got to be someone we've already seen. But again, it's really pushing towards, is it the main character or is it... Those are the two it's really trying to
I'm going to say it's ahead of countermeasures. I'm just going to throw it out there just randomly. It's that lady. But yeah, and then the Misunaga freaks out when he sees a kid dying, and pretty much
he explains that he left it in the classroom.
Yes, he protected. He said, I protected them. I left it in the classroom. What is it? Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out the next episode.
Hopefully.
What did you guys think of that episode?
Yeah, Professor, what did you think of the episode?
Professor?
So
Epic, you got that. Oh, frick.
Oh, frick. Oh.
What's going on over there?
Are you good?
I was doing something and then I left that on. Well, you got
the Thanos. You got the.
What are you doing over there?
That sounds pretty interesting, but what do you think of the episode?
Epic, because we had our accessories. I don't know.
Are you? You've only seen this one episode of Another. Are you going to watch the rest of the series now after watching this episode? Are you invested?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I skimmed through some of the episodes. I watched the beginning, and then today I watched like the whole thing of the last 2 episodes, and so yeah, I guess I guess I'm pretty invested because I know the jazz now.
Well, then you'll have to join us for future streams after you get caught up so we can discuss it.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not busy when that happens and I'm able to actually see the notification.
Hopefully. My personal opinion on this episode was it's not a good starting episode for people.
No.
Like as an episode, it's not a good singular moment in
because
this
it
anime.
plays on the fact that we know like these characters, and we know
yeah.
how they are, and we know how they act. Except for Mr. Mizunaga, we don't know.
And you don't get
jack
like
about him.
it's also not like a real intrigue episode. It's
Pretty much the shock and awe of the episode is everyone thought they were safe
of-
outside the town, and they weren't.
there's like 2 moments, and then the rest of it is just kind of like a filler thing.
But it was
This episode
cute.
really did feel like filler.
It was cute, and you get to know a little bit more. Like you get to definitely know for sure, Miss Cat of Countermeasures is completely and utterly into Koichi.
Yeah, 100%. She
She wants
wants
it.
that boy.
Hey,
I'm being PG about it. She wants that boy.
she wants
Holy
his
crap.
vitamins.
She wants his vitamins.
She wants his
does.
vitamins.
Holy
Anyway, now on to Baccano or
crap.
Baccano.
Baccano.
Baccano!
Baccano.
Exclamation point.
Isaac and Mira unintentionally spread happiness.
I enjoyed this episode. Just gonna say it because Isaac and
This-
Mira are just like clowns, and I love them so much.
This was an episode for people that are fans of Isaac and holy crap. It to give a little basis.
OTP forever.
Oh yeah, they're to give a little basis to it though. This episode was the worst offender of Baccano syndrome, which is time jumping.
Yeah,
My god.
yeah.
My god, this episode jumped time to an insane degree.
You just kind of had to go with the flow, man. That's I dropped my
I
pen
want-
again. If y'all wondering.
I want a Baccano supercut that
No,
is
no,
that is
you-
no
you-
just hear me
no.
out. Hear me out. A chronological cut of Baccano.
No,
I
no.
want a chronological one long episode. Someone make a YouTube video that's just Baccano chronologically, so that
No.
I can understand the hell's
Not
going
allowed.
on.
Not allowed.
better.
Not allowed. Nope. You just need to focus and pay attention. That's all. DC.
I don't
Come
know.
on
I
now.
don't-
Get with the times. I am also.
My brain
a lot
hurts.
confused. I'm not really that good. That was just a bit. Okay, guys. Now
Holy
we start off this episode with shenanigans as normal. Like, well, not really. We start off with the cops, and they're talking about Isaac and Mira, and they've caught them in photos, and they're just talking about how they're
Yeah.
small town criminals. They're small
The-
gang.
yeah,
They're not.
nobody really cared about him until they stole the Gennard's fortune. That was-
Genowad.
Genowad. This
Yeah.
so the weird the names.
Genowad. Pretty
God, I
much
hate the
Dallas and
name.
Elizabeth, which she is also called Eve in the dub. What is her name? Is it Elizabeth or is
Eve.
it Eve?
She's even Eve in the sub.
No,
Like,
they call
literally-
her Elizabeth. They call her
No, she
Elizabeth.
in the sub she's
Bet.
Elizabeth or
Bet.
Eve. Eve.
No,
That- don't-
she's one or the both. She's both.
That's what
I'm
she's.
saying. They
Those
call
are,
her-
yeah. They do it in the sub too.
So is Eve like a nickname for Elizabeth?
I
Because that's weird. I
guess.
don't.
I would have gone with Liz or Liv or something that makes sense. But yeah, her Eve she's Eve or Elizabeth. She's called both.
Yeah, but
I
you
would
know,
have thought
they-
Eve is short for Evelyn, but I guess I'm just weird. And
Or
I don't
Evie.
make or
Evie.
God, that's not a name.
I have
That's
dog names if
not
you
a
want.
name.
It's a name. It's a name.
It's not a name for a
a name.
person.
Professor, is Evie a name?
If you name your kid, you've got issues.
It
Anyway.
sounds like a name to me, but like one of
Thank you.
those like weird names, like when you get like a new student and then they got that name,
Yeah.
whether it's a
Yeah.
foreign exchange, someone that just moved in, or someone moving schools.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
So,
But anyway, they talk about how there's
Yeah.
pretty much exposition of they were not that bad until they stole from the Genowad.
this just
And
them-
then
the
after that,
image
we're
of
back on the
them-
train.
the image of them stealing.
I know. They're back on the train, and it's with the jacuzzi and the gang, and they go on the top of the train for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
they're chasing the rail tracer. That was
But
what they were doing.
I know they were chasing the rail
Because
tracer, but
he went on top of the train. So
But
they
why-
were,
if I see somebody on the outside of the train, my first
When-
thought's not going to be, I need to climb out the window and chase them. That's what I
When-
need to do now.
when has Jacuzzi come up with good plan?
You leave him alone. He's a sweetheart, and he's an angel and a benefit to
He
society.
needs to grow a pair. All I'm, because I'm getting tired of this crybaby stuff.
You leave my crybabies alone. Why you
I
gotta
hate
pick up
it.
my crybabies. I love my crybaby children.
So yeah, they go on top of the train. Then we cut to Gustavo, who's kidnapped Eve. As we remember, 3 episodes ago now. What is it that he
Some
kidnapped her?
episodes ago, yeah.
Yeah, and he eats an apple to look even more like a jerk, and then he
Yeah.
tries to offer the apple to her. 'Cause, of course, here,
Of
eat
course.
this apple I took a bite out of. But we do find out that one of the things, one of the reasons that he's looking for is Dallas is blackmailing Gustavo because he's like, saying I killed your parents, and I mean, we know he did. He's talked about it like episode 2, how he's doing that.
But blackmail is never fun.
Well, yeah, he killed his parents. He's blackmailing him for the murder of his own parents.
That's fair.
I'm
That's
feeling
fair.
more sympathetic towards Dallas.
Yeah,
Like, honestly.
not done that. But and then after that little bit of plot, and then
we cut back in time.
Yes, and we were with a young Eve who's crying over her brother. You find out that, like,
Young Eve, still same
well,
age Eve.
I'm sorry. You're right. When I first saw her, she looked younger to me.
She
and
just
I wrote it in my notes.
she's a lolly.
And then
She
I
looks like a
lied
little
it out.
girl.
But anyway,
Yeah, Isaac and Mira are outside
on
her
her
room.
balcony dressed as
Yeah.
Indians for whatever reason.
For some reason. It's Isaac and Mira, man. You don't question why they do what they do.
They think she's upset about her lover.
Yeah, but
Robo
it's not. It's her.
Oh no, is it better?
It's her brother. Yeah.
It's her brother.
They convince her that they'll help her if they tell her the story. Why she's
Then they're
sad.
back on the train with Jacuzzi.
Well, hey, hold on. We gotta talk about
Sorry.
their solution to her problem.
Oh jeez.
Just stop being rich.
Yeah, but we didn't get to that yet. You skipped it, but that's fine.
No, that's kind of like that was kind of in that moment
But-
there.
No, it was they did a cut back to Jacuzzi and then they went back to that. But that
Well,
doesn't
that's
matter.
'cause
But that's
nothing
Isaac
happened
Mira's
with Jacuzzi.
solution. Well, I mean, he separates his people, and
Yeah, like that was really nothing
and then
happened.
he kisses the niece. Nice, what's her name?
Nice.
Nice,
Yeah, it's nice.
nice. He kisses her, and everyone looks shook. Excuse me.
Look, man, let Jacuzzi be Jacuzzi. He a lucky boy this
Jacuzzi's got
episode.
game for days. But yeah, Isaac and Mira are like, that's your
stop
problem.
being rich for it.
Yeah. They're like, that's your problem. You and your brother will have less problems if you guys are poor. So let's help you out.
This is
And-
so yeah. They steal the fortune.
And Mira, Eve is just watching them do this, and she was laughing at them why they stole his fortune.
I mean,
And
they
she-
really.
She didn't care. She was like,
I don't
Bye.
understand how they tried to steal it. They tried to steal a couch and failed, but they managed to steal a museum door. I don't.
okay, we don't question Isaac and Mira. We let them do
They don't.
their chaos, and we just enjoy it. Okay, we
Isaac
enjoy
Isaac and Mira defy law.
the couch was either
my-
like bolted to the floor. or
Honestly, my notes for this episode are mostly Isaac and Mira are Isaac and Mira. There's,
Yeah, that's fair.
that's the only note you need for them. Isaac and Mira do Isaac and Mira stuff.
Then we're back on the train after that.
Where Jacuzzi.
And no,
okay,
not quite. We're at
Isaac and Mira
and
are being Isaac and Mira. That's my
Yeah,
point.
They find the conductor's bodies, and then they
And
start freaking out.
they
Jacuzzi's-
pontificate about the fate of Jacuzzi and whether or not he has been swallowed whole.
quite extensively, and they're just still Isaac and Mira energy. That needs to be a theme. And
Yeah,
a thing.
and Jacuzzi is the luckiest man in the world.
Appears, and they have a cute little reunion thing.
But
and
cute, he trips, falls, grabs her by the front of the shirt, rips that
That's
down.
cute.
She's cool with it, and he
I
face plants.
I happened to
Boom.
accidentally pause
Sounds
right.
kinda
in the
hot.
middle- I mean, it was. I happened to accidentally pause right in the middle of it, and I got the perfect reaction photo. I'll send that to OtakuCast right now. But yeah, it was-
I
it
just
was-
want to
it
know
was-
what is her dress made out of that it didn't rip? Because
it-
that
it's
dress moved.
1930s. So
What?
I honestly have no
I
idea.
know, right? I want a shirt made out of that material. That's strongest material in the world.
This was the perfect Isaac reaction because he got his suit like yanked on from behind,
Yeah, a
and that
lot
was
of yeah.
he just went like, and that was a picture I got. It was pretty funny.
Why does he not
But
look? Is he not blonde in the dub? What is going on?
it was just the way that picture was a scene.
That's so weird. It's so weird seeing that image. You get holy crap. But yeah, so we find out more about Jacuzzi's backstory, which is he robbed after his friends were killed, he robbed 18 stores in a day.
Yeah.
Like Isaac and Mira are like, that'd take a month, and he's like, I did it in a day. And Don tells us that Jacuzzi was 10 times more driven than he'd ever see him, and 100 times more of a crybaby. He cried 100 times hard. Look, I mean, I just want him to just have a moment of badassery that's not ruined. Can't Jacuzzi just get a moment of badassery? My tears give me strength.
It might give him strength. In fact, he can cry. It's okay to cry.
It's
He
okay,
can cry
but
while he's murdering people. It's fine.
it's okay, but it's not a good. It just doesn't make him
You
cool.
know, he's all down on himself and says he can't be a hero. But
Yeah, and then Isaac
then
and Mira
Isaac
are like, you just gotta be. It's they're Isaac and Mira again. They go off on a nonsensical rant about the Three Kingdoms and then Japan.
and then they also mixed in Billy the Kid into it too.
Billy the Kid, and then there's the whole thing about
Actually, that wasn't a nonsensical rat. The slug, the snake, and the
was.
frog is actually
No,
like
it was that's the main thing. No, it was nonsensical because they talked about the Three Kingdoms, then they brought up a Japanese dude who had nothing to do with any of it, and then they brought up another guy who was not related at all. It's Isaac and Mira stuff.
it worked. Eventually, Jacuzzi perked up. Eventually.
Oh yeah, because they said they'll be the wave that convinces people that Jacuzzi's a good guy.
I mean, yeah. So then back to the Genowad mansion, and they are stealing now. We just kind of
They stole. It's fine. We don't have to go in chronological order for the episode.
I know we don't, but I'm just trying to keep myself on track. So
it's fine. So here's the thing. We kind of go to when they met Ennis.
Could I just mention real quick before we did? Isaac talks a lot of game for a guy that doesn't have a gun.
Yeah,
He's like,
he does.
My gun's in my heart. Bang bang.
Yeah, he said a gunman said long ago that because he's like, I'll just take it on with my 100 guns, and they're like, you don't have one gun, and he's like, a gunman said long ago that everyone has a gun in their heart, and I'm just like,
it was adorable, but also
Isaac.
Cringe.
I mean, doesn't it make you more of a Chad to not need a gun?
Yeah,
Because like guns are for wusses, really. If you have like a blade or a sword, you're able to go at them.
He doesn't have anything. He had finger guns. He straight up went Townsend finger.
Look, Isaac, to put it politely,
he's got that BDE. Okay, he's got that absolutely massive BDE.
To put it politely, Isaac and Mira are very small brain.
You leave them small, smooth
to put it politely, they are.
Woo!
They are.
But they're kind of brave for having a projectile.
Like, I love Isaac and Mira, but they're just stupid. They're so stupid.
I love them. You leave them alone. They are stupid, but I love them.
You gotta love them for their flaws, and their flaws are they're stupid.
The Otaku Empire says Kirito brought a laser sword to a gunfight. You're not wrong.
I thought you would have focused on if tears made you stronger, Deku would be the #1 hero already.
I should have read that too, and I just.
It's true.
He is the hero. That's why.
Here's the thing. So they go to Ennis. Ennis is, captured him. They put him in the car.
Do they?
Ennis. They put them in the car, and they're talking about how, like, oh, this car looks like the one that ran over, and blah 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 blah. And they want to cheer Ennis up. That they want to pay her back for saving them and stuff. But Ennis says that she done something horrible, and she has this flashback of someone being absorbed. Now we learned about eating people. So can homunculuses do that too? To immortals, or is it just to other homunculuses, or what's what? What is the what are the rules?
I don't know. I don't know. They don't have no rules, man. Just go with it.
So
Just
Dallas is caught, and then we cut back to the past after
well,
the
why don't you
robbery.
try to cheer her up and say, you've redeemed yourself, whatever your dark
They're
past
on
is.
and
You've
they're on their own
redeemed yourself
redemption arc.
because you helped us.
Yeah, I'm just
It's Isaac and Mira, man.
so
Hashtag Isaac.
Dallas is back after the robbery, talking to Eve, or whatever her name is now, Elizabeth Eve. And he's talking to her. He's like, oh, I'll show you some stuff, and we find out like they're like, oh, someone robbed us, and Dallas is kind of like immediately like, oh, the only reason I came here was fortune. I wanted money, and Eve was happy and was praying to God, and he goes on about how she's stupid to pray to God and believe in God and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know, man. We just saw last episode that there's like the shadow being that grants immortality to people. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
there's a shadow being that doesn't want to be called a demon that goes around granting immortality to people. Who knows what else is out there?
Yeah, well, there at the end, I was a little confused because she looked like she tried to trick the guards to escape, but then there was one guard that was like, "I'm on to you." I'm like, "What was?"
Okay. I think what's going on, right? Here's my theory. They let Eve escape.
Probably.
Obviously.
Maybe they're thinking that she'll lead them to Dallas.
Or
but she doesn't know where Dallas
don't believe that I don't believe she'll lead them to Dallas. What I think is they released information that she was captured. She gets free. She goes out. The belief what I think they're going to do is they're going to try and let Dallas come to her. Now that she's escaped.
She's escaped, and now she's safe. So then Dallas can.
So Dallas can go out, and then they can follow her to find Dallas.
That's good. What do you think, Professor? With us?
The professor's like editing videos.
It seems that they discovered the master plan.
Look, we've discovered DC is right 99% of the time of the series.
Hey.
I was right about the demon summoning boat in the 1700s.
Shut up.
DC's right.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
Dallas is...
No. Don't encourage him, Otaku.
Hashtag DC was right. Yes!
No, quit encouraging him.
So yeah, I think
Napping Princess. It's a movie you watch. We're moving on because he's not always going to be right.
What do you mean we're moving on? What do you mean? We just finished talking about Baccano, which was part of Anime Club, which means you know what? That you can tune in for Anime Club Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time by joining the Anime Club voice channel on the server hosted by Yojack along with the Anime Club episodes. Yojack hosts anime movies every week. This upcoming Friday is Big Fish in Begonia, expected to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everyone's welcome to join us. We hope to see you there.
I watched
#ad.
Tell us a brief moment about this week's movie, Angels. What was the movie?
The movie was Napping Princess, and all these movies I go in blind. I try to watch dub because I'm that guy. But I actually like the animation style was beautiful. The dub was really well done, and so I have no complaints for once about the dub movie. The animation style was really Ghibli-ish. It was really bright, really clean, and the story, like, it was about. I'm trying to condense my explanations. It was pretty much about this girl who kept falling asleep, and in her sleep, she had these fantastical dreams that were like with mechas and lava monsters and talking stuffed animals.
Sort of like an isekai.
Yeah, and then it played back into the events going on in the real world. Her mother died. Her mother was part of the big company conglomerate that did a car thing, and her grandfather owned it. And pretty much she died before having this tablet with all these high-tech plans on it that her father originally bashed. And then once she was gone, he wanted that legacy of hers to put it back into the company. And it really is a beautiful story. Near the end, when fantasy and reality got mixed together, I was really, really confused.
That's that's
Again,
movie.
the, well, in the dreams, the girl had magic, and she used a tablet, and she could imbue things with artificial intelligence and
With
sentience.
magic. Yo.
Yeah, well, anybody who doesn't understand technology refers to it as magic anyway. So, you know,
The difference between
Ghetto
advanced
Baymax was
technology and
adorable. Ghetto Baymax was a little motorcycle and a sidecar that like could turn into a little mecha, and it was adorable. It really was. And I did like Ghetto Baymax KJ130. I did like it. It was a really cute movie. But as I said, y'all want to discuss that movie with me later on the Discord, I would be happy to, because there was that 10-15 minute segment that was both fantasy and reality with the pirate captain Peach and also her dad. And it was just like, what happened to the bad guy? Was it a dream when he burst into flames? Because you don't see him after that. I mean,
that's what happens when you blur fantasy and reality. The
what does the
lines.
Colossus represent in the real world? Because everything else in her dreams had a representation in the real world, except for that. What? What? What?
Who
What?
knows?
I need answers. But I really like the movie. We'll watch it. We'll watch again. Definitely. I really enjoyed it. Well, you guys got to watch it. It's really good.
Who knows?
You guys gotta watch this.
If I
movie.
have time,
No,
I got a lot going on this week.
no, watch the movie. Shut up.
I have a lot going on this week.
I will take possession of your void and command it to kill you. If you don't watch
It's
this.
not gonna change what I have going on this week.
I mean, it will if you're dead. Anyway, back to I closed my notebook in passion, and I need to find my page now.
Well, no,
Excuse
it's
me.
fine.
Well, everyone can wait. It's fine. There's no hurry, right?
I was gonna say, what do we got for Otaku? But
Empire news. We have a new partner. Everyone should welcome the Tin Shed.
well, thank you. Hello.
What is the Tin
Pleased to
Shed
have you.
for, DC?
I'm
You have
blanking on it right now, actually.
as well. I was hoping you'd have my back.
No, I'm blanking. They did our anime club graphic, I believe.
Oh yes, thank you. Sorry,
Our
my
new awesome graphic.
small stinky smooth brain just did not function after such.
No, I know. I was lost because I was so like, oh yeah.
And yes,
Our
and
giant graphic now covering our faces.
it's beautiful. Please cover my
It actually
entirety.
is really cool.
Cover all of me, all of me. And it's super awesome. We have our little why can I not think of the word? Our dude, and he's
Our
chilling
dude
on the
bro.
couch with some ramen, watching Anime Club. And hopefully, you guys will be able to watch Anime Club with us this upcoming week. When's the Anime Club again, DC?
Anime Club is Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can join us by joining the Anime Club voice channel on the server. It is hosted by Yojak. Along with the Anime Club episodes, we have different movies every week. Again, this upcoming Friday is Big Fish and Begonia, expected to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everyone is welcome to join. Please.
If you're a member of our Patreon, if not, you're gonna have to wait till July for season 1 to launch for it to become public. Anyway, and then we still need an Overwatch manager. So if you
Still looking
do
for one?
Overwatch things and you want to do Overwatch managing things, who was our point of contact? I never write it down, and I should at this point. I need a Bella Shame
hybrid.
Hybrid. Thank you. Give me a Bella Shaman chat, guys. That one's self-shaming. Okay.
Shame.
So, any final thoughts there, Professor?
Epic come. It's worth $1.
Yes.
It is.
There is different tiers to our Patreon. I'll stop plugging it after that. At just $1, just get you in BS with us and watch Anime Club. That's all, But
And
yes,
talk news. Be part of the
everybody,
community.
thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part and commenting. We really love it when you guys comment and talk with us.
Thank
So,
you
and
for being here, Professor.
yes, Professor,
No
thank you
problem.
so much for being here. And hopefully, we can get you on again in later seasons. You were a great guest.
Thank you.
Kick us off. Say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
See you later, guys. Bye.